My name is Isaac Riggins. I've been coming here to Central for about 3 years at this point. I've been working as the intern here at the Southeast site for a couple months. I've got 2 parents, 3 biological siblings, and 1 foster brother who's been with us for about 2 years. I grew up in a Christian home. Both my parents met at Cape and Ray. They went to Moody Bible Institute in Chicago, and they raised all of us on the Bible being fact and everything in it being historically accurate and infallible. I would say that a lot of my faith, though, was based solely on those facts and solely on memorizing Bible verses and knowing all the characters and knowing the stories. And there wasn't very much actual connection between me and God. As I got into high school, I started going out with a girl. We were going out for about 2 years. Things were fairly serious. We thought that there was maybe something there for long term after high school. And then out of the blue in grade 12, in the beginning of 2023, she broke up with me. I started to have a lot of questions. I was really just like doubting. There was a lot that all of a sudden that I thought that I knew, I thought I had under control, and it was just gone. It was kind of ripped away. That comfort that I started to rely on with her, I started looking for it in all the wrong places. I started sleeping around, I started drinking a lot more and just going out to clubs, going out to parties. I would say that my parents could definitely tell. Kids, you guys can definitely trust that your parents know you better than anybody else. They kind of came up to me, they said like, hey, you know our story that we met at Cape and Ray, that we both had an awesome experience with that. And we were curious, like if you wanted to actually pursue that, see if there's something there for you. So I kind of threw my hat in the ring. I put in an application to Tauernhof in Austria, but God was really the furthest thing from my mind at that point. I kind of applied for the sake of going to Europe and meeting some people and having a good experience for a couple of months. Probably about 2 days after I got to the Cape and Ray, to the actual base, we had a worship night, and I broke down crying like I never have before, because I felt God so strongly, and I just felt His voice claiming me, like reaffirming my identity as a son of the Most High, and Him just like telling me like, this is who you are, this is where you're meant to be. Not all of these other things. Stop looking in other places. I'm what you've been looking for. I am the answer. And since then, I haven't really looked back at all. For me, baptism is this next step of where I've proclaimed this faith, and I have started to own this faith for me, for myself. And so taking this next step of baptism and proclaiming this to the congregation, to anyone else who walks in through those doors, that is where my faith and my actions are starting to work together and see that they are supporting one another rather than being one or the other, as it has been so many times in my life.